Do you find yourself overwhelmed by the thought of making a career transition? I've been there and I understand the challenges you face. That's why I created the Career Compass, the ultimate guide for high achieving corporate women to make career transitions with ease. The Career Compass breaks down the decision making process into 5 clear steps, helping you make savvy, empowered career decisions. Head over to KarenFreeland.com/career compass right now and download this invaluable resource. It's completely free and will get you on the path to a more fulfilling career. Go to KarenFreeland.com/career compass now. Welcome to Rock Your Reinvention, where I help high achieving career women like you get unstuck, make your corporate exit strategy, and successfully transition to your next chapter. Hi, I'm your host, Karen Freeland, a certified life coach and corporate exit strategist. Whether you want to start a business, become a speaker, or something else, I'm here to give you the tools and strategies to shift your mindset, build your confidence, and take bold actions so you can rock your reinvention. Ready? Let's go. All right, who's ready to talk about confidence today? This is definitely one of my favorite topics because it's something that everyone strives for, but so many still fail to achieve. And so we have to ask ourselves, why is it that so few people actually embody the kind of confidence that they desire? Well, I believe that it might be because of the myths that I'm going to share with you today. And if you let these myths become your beliefs, your deep-seated thoughts, then they're absolutely going to hold you back. But the good news is that these are myths. They're not true. They're not fact. And so you get to choose today to let those thoughts go and adopt a new set of thoughts that are going to help propel you forward. I love this topic so much. I mean, I dedicated an entire chapter in my book, Grab Life by the Dreams, to unshakable confidence, right? This is something that I'm super passionate about, something I've struggled with in the past until I really started to understand confidence myself, and something that I help a lot of my clients with. In fact, I don't think I've ever worked with a client that we haven't touched on some aspect of confidence. It's just that pervasive, right? And it impacts us no matter what we're doing, whether we're trying to get out there and change our career, whether we're trying to date more, whether we're trying to be a better parent, like whatever it is that we're striving for, there's some element of confidence that has to be present. So let's break down these myths so that you can put this to rest and really get the kind of confidence that you want and, quite frankly, that you deserve, that you were born to own. All right, myth number 1, I have it or I don't. Meaning that if you're not born with confidence, you're out of luck, right? But if it comes naturally to you, then you're lucky, right? You're one of the lucky ones that actually gets to have confidence. That simply isn't the case. And that is because confidence is a skill. It's a way of being. It is not something that you can actually hold and possess. It's not tangible, right? It's a behavior. It's a state of being that is 100% acquirable. And so it's not something that you have or you don't have. It's something you can embrace. It's a mindset. It's the way you act, the way you show up. It reminds me a lot of the whole growth mindset versus fixed mindset, right? If you are familiar with Carol Dweck's work, she's an American psychologist, I believe, and she has done a whole body of work around growth mindsets and fixed mindsets. And essentially, if you have a fixed mindset, you just believe that your skills and your abilities are fixed. Like there's nothing you can do to change them. You can't improve upon it. You can't grow. And you just have what you have. And the growth mindset, it believes the opposite, that you can always be improving, growing, learning, expanding, and developing, which is the kind of mindset that we all want and need to have, especially if we're trying to improve our confidence, right? So if you're stuck in a fixed mindset, you're going to believe that there's nothing you can do about your confidence, that you're just the level you're at is where you're going to be for the rest of your life. Whereas if you have that growth mindset, you're like, no, I know that with practice and with specific exercises and with a different mindset, I can absolutely grow and change and become more confident. And it's true, you can. And I've seen it happen with a number of my clients where their confidence has just grown tenfold in the 6 months that we worked together. So you can officially let go of myth number one, I have it or I don't. That is not true. And you can always be growing your confidence. All right, myth number two, when I'm confident, I won't feel any fear or discomfort. Oh, how I wish this was true. That would be fantastic because that would actually mean that there was a state we could reach where all the fear and discomfort went away. But sorry for the tough love. From what I've experienced personally and what many of my clients have experienced, this just isn't true. It's not fact, right? I've had clients publish books and then worry about promoting them. What if it's not good enough? What if nobody likes it? I'll just if somebody will find it, that's great. But I don't want to be out there pushing my book. They're nervous to go on podcasts or to start sharing on social media. Oh, what if people don't like it? What if there's backlash? What if nobody likes and comments on my stuff? Oh, that'll be so embarrassing. Like that is fear and discomfort ruling you, right? Holding you back from your full potential. I mean, I've had clients land TEDx talks and then be worried about posting them and sharing them because they're afraid others are going to judge them. Or, oh, they've already seen it. Everybody's already seen it. I don't want to share it again. People are not seeing this stuff. You have to keep talking about it and putting yourself out there. So, yeah, fear and discomfort, it doesn't go away. It's par for the course. Even when you are confident, there are going to be moments where you have some self-doubt or you feel like, oh, I don't really want to put myself out there. I don't know how it's going to be received. I don't know if I'm capable enough. That's okay to have those feelings. You're human, but we don't have to stop there and take them as truth, right? There will be fear and discomfort when you are confident. I'm confident, right? And I go on the news every month and I'm like, I hope what I have to say today is going to be good or well received. I have my own fears and concerns. I get nervous, I get a little shaky, but I do it anyway. I don't let the fear and discomfort hold me back because I know that is not indicative of my level of confidence, right? The fact that I show up and do it anyway, that is what speaks to my level of confidence. So if you're waiting for the fear and discomfort to go away, friend, you're going to be waiting a very long time. Don't do that to yourself. Let go today of the idea that you won't feel fear or discomfort when you are confident. You can be confident and have fear and discomfort, okay? They can coexist. Number three, the third myth is the idea that someone else can destroy my confidence. I see this a lot in my clients. How many times have you had the thought, oh, my boss has totally eroded my confidence. My coworker is constantly criticizing me. Maybe I'm not that great. Right? Those little thoughts that someone else is actually in control of your confidence. Well, the tough love train isn't stopping because no, actually, no one else can erode your confidence unless you permit them to. Because confidence is simply a belief and a trust in yourself, knowing that you can figure things out, knowing that you have the capacity and capability to get through this challenge. That's all that confidence really is. It's a mindset. And no one can erode your mindset or change your mindset unless you allow them to. I know that there's a lot of criticism and feedback, especially in the corporate environment. I have experienced a lot of it myself. But here's the thing, criticism and feedback isn't always a bad thing, right? We need some feedback to grow, to develop, to improve our skills. Feedback can be a really helpful tool for us. But I always advise my clients to look at where it's coming from and what is the intent behind the feedback. Okay, yes, there will be some people out there who are just malicious by nature, and they are so insecure and they have their own hangups that they will try to tear down every single person around them to try to make themselves feel better or look better. You don't need to let that person's criticism or feedback get in your head. You don't need to listen to what they are saying because the intent behind it is bad. It's malicious. It's hurtful. That's not helpful criticism and feedback. But if you do have a boss or a peer or someone that you work with who is genuinely caring about your success and they're giving you some criticism or feedback, you owe it to yourself to take that in and maybe with a grain of salt, right? But to absorb it, decide what pieces of that feedback you want to take and move forward confidently without allowing them and giving them the permission to start to destroy your confidence because they simply don't have that much control over you. They don't have the power to do that unless you give your power away. So I hope that that will be helpful for you because I know that is a big one for a lot of the women that I've worked with. They all come in first saying like, "Oh, I used to be confident. I used to be different. I wasn't always like this. And I've just let all these people trample all over me. And I've started to believe the things and the lies that they've been saying." No, that's okay. We all have those moments sometimes. Let's correct it. Let's turn it around because you don't have to stay in this place where you've allowed someone else to erode your confidence. Okay, myth number 4. Now, this is a good one. If I'm too confident, people will think I'm braggy or cocky. And I wish I had one of those buzzers. I could like hit the buzzer. No, wrong, false. Ugh, I hate this excuse. Just the fact that you're even worried about this one signifies that you are not a narcissist and you can safely embrace displaying more confidence, right? Because think about it. Let's get real. Narcissists aren't walking around like, oh, I'm so afraid. I hope I don't offend someone with my cockiness today. No, they're just overly confident and they think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread and they never stop talking about themselves and like, right, they just do narcissistic crap. So the fact that you're like, oh no, I wouldn't ever want to be like that tells me that even if you started telling people about your accomplishments and showing up with a little more gravitas and commanding a presence in the room, no one would perceive you as a narcissist, right? This would not actually be an issue for you. So here's the thing, we got to dig the layer deeper. Okay, we want to acknowledge the surface level, but then we want to go deeper. Here's what's going on. This is what I've seen in my practice. It's a safeguard. It's a form of self-sabotage, right? It's trying to play into society's rules or, thoughts about the nice girl, right? This is how women should be. They should be dainty. They shouldn't speak up. And I get it. I'm sure you've probably, going back to, number 3, you've probably had people in your corporate environment, especially if you're high achieving, right? Like so many of us are. And you've had someone say to you, you're too direct, you're too bossy, you're too this, you're too that. Okay. You're not too anything. Understand the feedback, where it's coming from, why you might be getting that feedback. Is there any element of that that you want to consider and shift? And then go right back to being the amazing person you were created to be. Okay? We don't have to play the nice girl. Doesn't mean we're going to be jerks, right? Either. Like, we can be friendly and assertive. We can be direct and caring, right? These things can coexist in us. We can share our accomplishments and still be humble. So if you are using this excuse as a safeguard, if you are acting like, well, I just don't want to share my accomplishments, or I don't want to be too confident because people will think I'm being a jerk or braggy or whatever. No, just recognize that that is a form of self-sabotage and that playing small is not going to get you ahead in life or business. It's not going to get you to where you want to go. So you've got to start speaking up and living out loud. And this is such a fun one to kick to the curb because you just get to own who you are. You get to show up so much more authentically. And that's what people want. They want authenticity in today's day and age. They really do. Like, but especially now with AI and all the fake crap, like I've heard things that, the biggest influencers aren't going to even be people. They're going to be like AI bot. What? That's insane. I'm not following an AI bot. No. But that's the way the world seems to be going. So it's up to us to take it in a more human direction. All right. That's probably a whole other podcast. Anyway, myth number 5 that I want to share with you today. And this is a hot topic for some, but the idea is you can't fake confidence. What? Nope. That is a whole load of BS. And I can tell you that because I do it all the time. You can absolutely fake it. And in fact, it's advisable. Yeah, listen to that again. It is advisable to fake being confident. Why? Well, if you've read the book, Think and Grow Rich for Women, that is by Sharon Lechter. It is a play off of the original book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, but she's kind of taken it and adapted it specifically for women, which I love because she talks a lot more, not just about creating wealth and growing your money, but also the impact side of it, right? Anyway, let me read the definition of what she calls auto suggestion. And this is something that they talk about, and it really relates to faking confidence. So, auto suggestion is an influencing of one's own attitude, behavior, or physical condition by mental processes other than conscious thought. So, this essentially means that you're planting confident messages and beliefs way deep down in your subconscious where they just become second nature. And you don't really have to think about it anymore because it's ingrained in you. And there's a great quote from Napoleon Hill that I love where he says, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." So if you start to believe that you're confident, you're going to start acting confidently. Confident things are going to start happening to you. And then you're going to feel more confident because you're like, oh, yeah, this is working. I'm getting ahead in my career, or I'm getting ahead in my business, or wow, I really am showing up more confidently. And look at that. I'm attracting the right kind of partner and whatever, right? Whatever goals you're trying to achieve right now. And I talk about fake it till you make it and grab life by the dreams. That's tip number 5 in chapter 8, where I talk about creating unshakable confidence. And one of the things I share in that tip is a really helpful question for faking confidence, because some people are like, okay, well, that's great. I'd fake confidence, but I don't know how to do that. So the question that I love to ask and have my clients ask themselves is, what would the most confident, successful version of me do in this situation? That is such a powerful question. The answer to that question is going to give you the guidance you need to act as if you were already confident, right? It's going to give you the ability to fake it. I have such little simple examples sometimes of this. I was running a program last year for Success Without Sacrifice. It's a group program that I run occasionally. And I was like, how many mugs should I order? And I was really overthinking this for a ridiculous amount of time. And finally, I was like, Karen, you drink your own champagne, for goodness sake. What would the most confident, successful version of you do? I'm like, she'd order 12. Okay, done. And it literally like that, I got the answer to the thing that was keeping me stuck, right? I was able to fake that confidence in that moment and just move forward with things. You can absolutely do this too, and you can apply it to the most mundane examples to the biggest examples, okay? So, we always love to have a little action item at the end, and I want you to grab out a journal, find something to write in, and think about which of these myths resonated with you most and why. As a recap, myth number 1, either I have confidence or I don't. Myth number 2, when I'm confident, I won't feel any fear or discomfort. Myth number 3, someone else can destroy my confidence. Myth number 4, if I'm too confident, people will think I'm bragging or cocky. And myth number 5, you can't fake confidence. I really want you to think about which one of those hits home most and why it does. And then I want to invite you to pick one myth that you want to start busting in your life. I just busted all of those myths for you, but I want you to think about how you are going to combat that myth specifically. And you got to be detailed here, okay? Really think about your action plan and what steps you're going to take to make sure you rewrite that thought in your head and you no longer believe that myth, okay? I mean, you can do this for all 5, but just start with one for right now, because even if you bust one of these myths, you are going to become increasingly confident in a very short period of time. Okay, I'm excited for you to overcome these top 5 myths. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish next. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're inspired to take action by committing to one of the tips or strategies we talked about in today's episode. If you want more accountability and support, I've got your back. Book a complimentary Empowered Exit Strategy call today. Visit KarenFreeland.com to learn more and book your 45-minute session. Until next time, stay fabulous.